Dead as a Doornail, Book 6 of the Stan Kraychik Mysteries. Author, Grant Michaels. Publisher, St. Martin's Press, New York. Narrator, Eric Aust. Chapter 17. When I get back up to the street, Chip Holton is nowhere in sight. That limp hasn't slowed him down much. God's healed quickly. I glance down Albany Street and spot a big black Mercedes-Benz sedan. Even from the distance, I can see gold lettering shine in the rear window. It turns at the intersection of Union Park Street and heads toward the South End Business District. Looks like Chip Holton maybe got a lift to his urgent destination. I walk back to Tremont Street. By the time I get there, Selina Hightower is already in her office, talking on the telephone. As I enter the place, she ends the call quickly. "Well, well," she says, flashing her pretty smile at me. "If it isn't our neighborhood watchdog making his rounds." "Good day to you, too," I say. "And speaking of dogs, bitch. How's your hair these days, Selina? Sometimes the change of season can make it a little dry or brittle. Sometimes it even breaks off in strands about 5 inches long." "My hair's fine," she says prettily. "But yours look like a disaster area. You certainly don't look like Timmy now. So much for being incognito, but how does Selina know that's why I did it?" I ask her, "Did you just give Chip Holton a look back here?" "Who?" she says. "A good-looking guy in black workout clothes. He's a personal trainer. In your quest for fitness, I thought you might know him." Selina says, "Do you have business to transact, or are you just bothering me again?" "Actually," I say, "I'm house hunting for someone else today. Chip Holton wants to open a restaurant, and I was wondering if you have any good properties available." "Are you backing him?" "Why?" Selina says, "Chip Holton has already approached me about a business site, but the boy has no money." She laughs. "In fact, as far as I know, he can't even boil water." "That won't stop him," I say. "He's straight, you know." "I know. And will that stop you?" she says. I look at the window at Domestic Tech, which belongs to Selina's husband. "How's Thorin doing?" I say. "He's straight too," says Selina. "His store looks closed," she says quickly. "I believe he has an appointment." I recall Branco telling me he wanted to question Thorin. That's probably where Thorin really is, down at headquarters being charged with Tim Chignassi's murder. Some appointment. I say, "Did you enjoy your visit with Lieutenant Branco last night? It sounded like you were two having a jolly old time together." Selina says, "What I told the police is certainly none of your business, and I don't appreciate you tattling on me either. That lieutenant called me out of the blue this morning just to ask if I was at XUXUX yesterday. She pronounces it Zuzu's. It's so easy when you know how. Why do you think I'm the one who told Branco?" "Because you were at the station last night, and you're the only one who saw me at the salon yesterday. Angie saw you too." "Yes," says Selina, "but why would she tell the police about our argument?" "I thought you two weren't arguing." "We weren't," she says, "and that's exactly my point. This morning the lieutenant assumed that Angie and I were arguing the same way you did. Interesting coincidence, wouldn't you say?" "I know what I saw, Selina. Besides, maybe Angie isn't so determined to conceal that argument. She was Tim Chignassi's friend, after all. Maybe finding his killer is more important to her than some argument with you. Or was that argument related to Tim's death?" "How could it be?" says Selina. "We didn't even know Timmy was dead at the time." "So you say, but if that's true, then what's so secret about the argument? Yesterday you denied any argument at all." "It's a personal matter," says Selina. "It doesn't concern you or the police. Now, if you don't mind, I have work to do." And as if to give credence to her words, Selina sets up her workout chair up, springing the two long arms of high tensile steel with the stirrups dangling loosely at the ends. She grabs them and begins her routine, pulling, holding, counting, exhaling. She looks at me between reps, then shifts her eyes toward the door. "You can go now," she says. I tell her, "You know, I might want to buy one of those things myself. Did you get around here?" Pull, hold, count, exhale. "A mail order," she says. They send you a video, too." "I don't need that," I say. "I can just watch you." She glares at me, but there's also a part of her that likes being watched. It's the old exhibitionist gene. Some people have it, some people don't. And there's nothing you can do to change it. She continues showing off a while, so I talk. I hear you handled the original sale of property to the South End Community Alliance last summer? Selena's workout suffers a breach of rhythm. Then she says, I suppose every gay man in the city knows about that sale. It should have helped your business, right? Selena smiles her pretty smile. It doesn't hurt to know your demographics. Pool, hold, count, exhale. I say, I've heard that realtors often work closely with certain favored contractors. It's a professional courtesy, she says. Part of the business. Including the little kickbacks? No answer to that from the body beautiful. I ask her, is that how it was between you and the Gardenias? What are you getting at? I wonder how much business a one-girl shop like yours can refer to a giant company like Gardenia and Sons. Selena says, I provide enough referrals to make it worth their while. Sir Gardenia and Sons paid you some money for recommending them to build SECA's recreational center? Fine. Like you say, it's a professional courtesy, but then Tony Gardenia gets killed on the site, and that's not so fine. Maybe things got a little sour between you and the big company? Maybe the accident put a strain on your relationship with the Gardenias? Nothing is strained, says Selena. Except maybe the quality of mercy. And that's not how it happened, she says. Then why don't you set the record straight? Pull, hold, count, exhale. Pull, hold, count, exhale. Okay, says Selena. I did handle the sale for SECA, and I worked hard to get them a good contract with Gardenia and Sons. In fact, I put myself on the line for SECA. No one seems to recall that part of the deal. The Gardenias didn't want any part of it first, but I convinced them it would be good for future business, and finally they agreed. Then the accident happened. Yes, said Selena. That fool Timmy went and destroyed all my hard work just because he couldn't keep his damn eyes on his job. It was an accident, Selena. Was it? She says. Silly little gay boy. His being gay didn't kill Tony Gardenia. A straight man wouldn't have done that. Straight men cruise plenty, Selena. But none of this matters because the equipment was faulty. So the court says. That's right, I say. But I wonder if maybe the Gardenias had a contract on arm? To hell with what the court says? People like to get even. Pull, hold, count, exhale. Pull, hold, count, exhale. When Selena realizes that no amount of exercise is going to make me vanish, she abruptly stops her workout. Who have you been talking to? The information is all out there, Selena. You've just got to know where to find it. Thank you, Benji. Thank you, Hairnet. Someone like you is very good at that. What's your point? She says. My point is that maybe the all-powerful Gardenias wanted to eliminate the guy they considered family enemy number one. But maybe they didn't want to get their hands dirty. It's bad for big shots to have dirty hands. Maybe they asked you to do them a favor? Hey, says Selena. What kind of favor? I shrug. Maybe they convinced you it would make up for their tragic loss at SCCA. Maybe it would put you back in their good graces. Well, to rid them of a thorn in their side. You think I killed Timmy, says Selena. Why not? Are you out of your mind? Didn't you just tell me how lovey-dovey you were with the Gardenias? There's no telling how far you'd go to maintain good business relations with a company like theirs. Maybe your whole future as a realtor hinges on it. Maybe your life. Selena glares at me and maybe it's time you face some facts. Like, for example, what do you really know about Tim Chignasi? You knew the sweetie pie, the cherub with the smiles, right? The chorus boy act. I resist a nod. Tim was damn cute and appealing. Another opening. Another show. Selena goes on. Well, it was all lies. Timmy was no cute, dumb boy. He was a clever, conniving businessman. I didn't like him, and I'm not afraid to say why. That little crook got hold of my client list. He went through it name by name and called every person on the list. Then he offered each and every one of them a lower quote for the same exact work that my recommended contractors had already hit bid on. Now, how do you think that made me look? Like a rip-off artist. Selena glowers at me. I say, "It's called competition, Selena. You ought to know about that." She says, "It's not competition when your records are stolen." "Did you report the theft to the police?" "No," she says. "Why not?" "Because the original records were never missing from any office." "So then how do you know they were stolen?" Selena says, "Because I found copies." "Where?" I wait. She glowers some more. I say, "Were you someplace you weren't supposed to be?" She says, "It was my client list that was somewhere it wasn't supposed to be." "You claim that Tim got that list of yours, and it's a fact you were his landlord?" Selena glowers. "I am not a landlord. I am a property manager." "Whatever you call yourself, doll, it doesn't take much to figure that you were at Tim's place without his knowledge or consent, and that's how you found your list there. I think it's called breaking and entering." "I didn't break in," she says. "It's against the law, even if you have a key." "Look," says Selena, "I did not kill Timmy, and I did not help the Gardenias do it either. The one thing I do know is that the South End is a finite property base. It cannot tolerate newcomers edging in on the business. There are already too many qualified contractors for the available work." "That may be so, doll, but the last I heard, the free enterprise system doesn't grant someone the right to kill the competition." "Tim Shaughnessy wasn't competing with me." "Maybe not in real estate." "What do you mean by that?" says Selena. "Maybe the competition was more personal." "Meaning?" she says. "Meaning your husband seems to have very strong feelings for Tim." "God," she says, "you have a filthy mind." Selena Hightower's indignation is not as pretty as the rest of her. "You think I'd kill Timmy because of that?" "Maybe he knew about that drug rap your husband took for you. They were pretty close, Thorne and Tim. Maybe your husband told him everything, and maybe you weren't comfortable with him. If the truth about your drug dealing got out, it might damage your reputation." "Where are you hearing these things?" "I keep telling you, it's all public information. The sources vary." "Thank you, Myron. But it's all out there." "I'm too busy for this nonsense," she says. "Would you please leave now, or do I have to call the police and have you escorted out?" "Call Branco," I say. "Maybe you two can continue that laugh riot you started last night." Selena lets go of the stirrups on her workout chair, and they fly up every which way. She grabs the phone on her desk. I say, "It's all right, doll. I can see the door." I leave Gateway to Paradise and go next door to Myron's place. Domestic art. If Selena is the keeper of Heaven's Gate, then I'd rather face the alternative, even if that means putting up with Myron. At least he's eager to gossip, and you never know what scandalous tidbit will fly from his bitchy bouche. But Myron's door is locked, as though the store is closed. Oddly, though, the lights are all on. Maybe he's just gone out for a minute. As I peer inside, Betty comes trotting out from the back part of the store. He's wagging his tail and squealing softly like he wants to come out and play. "Sorry, Pooch," I say. "You gotta ask your mama first." I cross the street to confer with Thorne at Domestic Tech, maybe pull his chain a while. Exactly how much does Selena Hightower know about her husband's relationship to Tim Shaughnessy? And why was Thorne willing to go to jail for her? Or did Myron fabricate that whole story just to make life in the South End seem more exciting than it really is? But I forgot that Thorne's place is closed. Some South End retailers really do keep bankers' hours. Maybe because they're at the bank so much, or else at police headquarters. While I'm peeping into Thorne's store and admiring all the softcore photo displays, there's a sudden commotion behind me across the street, out of nowhere. 3 Boston police cruisers have arrived, lights blinking and sirens blaring. They arrange themselves to block off outbound traffic on Tremont Street. I see Selena in her office. She springs up from her desk and goes to the window to look out. She appears alarmed by all the noise and the nervous flashing lights. Maybe she called the cops and complained about Betty's whimpering? But then, why would she be alarmed? 2 cops go to the door of Myron's store. Someone is unlocking it from the inside, but I can't make out who it is because of the gathering crowd and the cops and cruisers all around the place. The door opens slightly and the 2 cops slide inside. A few moments later, 2 more follow them. Minutes pass, and the first two cops come out, escorting Chip Holton between them. He's still in his priestly workout clothes, but his head is hanging down like he's really sad about something. The cops put him in a cruiser and take him away. Then an emergency medical van pulls up. Two medics emerge and rush into Myron's store. Moments later, they come out, supporting Myron between them. His face is bloody and he's howling incoherently. Betty is behind them, barking loudly. The medics try to get Myron into the van, but he seems more concerned with making a scene on the street than cooperating with them. They finally get him into the van, and Betty bounds in after him. One of the medics drags Betty from the van and shoves him back into Myron's store. He secures the door, but Betty's barking is still audible. I head over to police headquarters. Gay Mysteries audiobooks. I think it is easy to hate a label, but a face humanizes the word. So this effort is twofold. To offer comfort to those like myself that your world didn't end because you don't fit into the view of acceptable society on both sides. And in hopes of helping those with family that are LGBTQ, that it doesn't mean we are aliens from the child they once knew. Reassure them so they can maybe be supportive at the same time, being true to their values.